This is Matthew Golden's statement season. He's going to make a statement this season. He will make a statement, and when the chips on the line, he going to deliver. And he going to show everybody that might not think that he a good wide receiver, or the ones that might think he's a good wide receiver, but he might not be a number one wide receiver. Matthew Golden is going to show you the true traits of what a wide receiver one can look like, and what a possessional, move the chain, top quality wide receiver can do. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CheeseHead Connection podcast. I am your host, Chris Wilson, and today we will dive into Matthew Golden. What impact can he make as our new primary X receiver? And could he very well reach the 1,000-yard mark this season? Is it any way possible that he may be able to do that? We'll talk about it today. Also, we're going to talk about and continue our rookie impacts for 2026. Which rookies do you think will have the most impact for 2026 season? Today, we will dive into our 4th round pick, Dani Dennis-Sutton from Penn State, and our 5th round pick, Jager Burton from Kentucky. But before we get started on that, I'd like to thank everybody who's watching on YouTube, and I ask you, if you're not subscribed, to please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you won't miss any new episodes of the CheeseHead Connection podcast. And for those who are listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and wherever you get your podcasts, if you don't have time to listen to this right now, no worries. Just download it, save it for later, and when you get some free time, you can listen to it. Now that we got that out the way, let's start off talking about Matthew Golden. It's our 2025 first round pick out of Texas. And last year, Matthew Golden did not have the most of opportunities. As you all know, last year, we had a lot of mouths to feed in the wide receiver room, and there was only one ball to go around. So Golden kind of got the short end of the stick on that one. But now that Romeo Doubs is gone, Dontavian Wicks is gone, there will be more opportunities for him to eat. And being that it's already have been confirmed by our quarterback, Jordan Love, that he will primarily be the X receiver, Matthew Golden should have all the opportunity in the world to prove that he is a top caliber wide receiver in the NFL. Now, it's really not nothing to go over with the numbers. He had 29 receptions for 40 targets, 361 yards, no TDs in the regular season, had the 1 touchdown in the postseason against the Bears in the wild card round. He was 4 receptions, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Looked very, very promising in that game. Looked very, very good in that game. And that was the game for me, in my opinion, that kind of made me feel like, okay, yeah, this guy can really be something. He showed me that he can be a very good wide receiver for us. The targets are very, very low, and it's really honestly not nothing to really go on. And only thing we know is the obvious, that the receptions, the targets, everything is going to go up because the role has changed. It was confirmed by Jordan Love that Matthew Golden will be the X receiver. He's basically taking Romeo Doubs' spot as the X receiver. So, what I really want to get into today and just talk about is just like the buzz around Golden. It's a lot of buzz, especially with camp starting. He's looking really, really good in camp. The few videos that I have seen of him in camp, the very limited videos. I seen one where he went in between. I want to say it was X. I want to say it was X and Evan Williams, maybe, or it might have been X and Valentine. I can't remember. I know X was there. I seen 29. I can't remember who the other DB was, but he just went up and got it in between both of those guys. And then it's just like reading the notes. It's always, Golden making some type of play in 2-minute drills or in practice period. You know what I'm saying? The 1v1s, he looks real nice. So it's very, very promising. Okay, for what I can gather from the little bit that I have seen from Matthew Golden, I don't want to really spend too much time on it because, like I said, it's really not anything stat-wise that I can go by. I'm basically going on what I saw with my eyes and what I feel and hope that can happen. But I feel like with him getting more opportunities in the pass game, in the X receiver role, being that receiver that's going to be the possession receiver, as I call it. I'm not sure if that's a correct term, but I always call a possessional receiver. A possessional receiver to me is the guy that's working the short and intermediate game, the receiver that has, in his 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, and we need a first down, a completion. This is the guy we're going to. He's getting open. He money every time, the move the chains guy. I think Matthew Golden will be the move the chains guy for us. And he will get all the opportunities because he's going to be on the field 75-80% of the time. He's probably going to be on the field. And I think his route running and his hands catching in traffic, contested catching, is going to benefit us and is going to make him a very, very good wide receiver for us. Now, I'm not going to go out on a limb and say he's gonna be a top guy in the league, like one of these top wide receivers. But I will say that this season could be the start of something great. If we see the Matthew Golden that I believe we're going to see, someone that grasps the offense from the jump. He's got a whole year in the offense. He should be able to, continue to build on that. It seems like he has the trust of the quarterback. I don't want to necessarily say trust. I say it seems like Matthew Golden and Jordan Love have a really good relationship. That's just from the outside looking in. He always speaks highly of Matthew Golden. He speaks highly of everybody, but I'm just saying as of here, since camp has started, he's spoken very highly of Matthew Golden. If you got the quarterback that believes in you and speaks highly of you, and y'all continue to work together and get on the same page where you get down what he wants to do in what moment without even, too much of words being spoken, maybe just a look or a nod or, you know what I mean? You know how some wide receivers, we seen it with Rodgers and Devontae all the time. Rodgers can look at Devontae and Devontae can look at Rodgers and they thinking the same thing. They going off script real quick. Now, if you can get to a point where you can do that, where Golden can do that with Love, he'll be real, real dangerous. But that's going to be a work in progress. But I really do believe that being that Love is speaking so much highly of him and the way that Matthew Golden goes about his business, like he comes off like he knows that he's a dog and he wants to prove to everybody that he's a dog and he's going to work 10 times harder than everybody else and make sure that everybody knows that he's a dog. Like he got that mentality in him, just the mentality that he has. If he can put all that together with already the skill set he has, because he has great route running skills, he has great hands, he can make contested catches. So you put all that together, that screens a top wide receiver. Now, top wide receiver in 2026, the jury's still out. I think that this season, just to put everything in a nutshell, I think this season for Matthew Golden, realistically, I think he can have Romeo Dobbs numbers. Romeo Dobbs numbers from last year. He had 55 receptions on 85 targets for 724 yards and 13.2 yards per reception with 6 touchdowns. Do I believe that Matthew Golden can have similar numbers to this? Absolutely. Absolutely, I believe that. I believe this season, these numbers that I just gave you off of Romeo Dobbs stats, I feel like that if Golden stays healthy, I always got to throw the health in there. Health is always the number one thing. Everything that any podcaster or any media person talks about someone doing, it all depends on if the player can stay healthy. So I always have to lead off with that. If he can stay healthy, and I don't see any reason that he won't stay healthy, 55 receptions on 85 targets, 724 yards. That's more than doable. I believe that Matthew Golden's numbers will be similar to Romeo Dobbs' numbers, if not more. I'm going to say right now, Matthew Golden will have at least 700 yards receiving. Now, here comes the other caveat. I believe he can have 700 yards receiving just as a possessional wide receiver. But I do believe that Watson is the deep threat on this team. But at the same time, Matthew Golden can be a deep threat as well because he has the speed. And his route running is better, in my opinion, than Watson's. So it can be a lot of option routes that if he can get down and recognize where the safeties are on the field, or recognize the holes in the zones, or recognize the defensive scheme, he might can, get a little extra, man. Get a little extra. I mean, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Matthew Golden reaches 1,000 yards this year. If and only if he has this offense down packed and he has the continuity with the quarterback. If he has that full continuity with the quarterback where they can kind of go off script just a tad bit, give him a little, and okay, I know what he want. Boom. The play might be this. Love might see something in the defense. Look over. Do something. Get a little hand signal or something. I don't know. You know how they do. Then we got off-script plays. You know what I'm saying? Off-script play might come to a couple of extra yardage. I don't know, man. I can't give you no stat to bag up what I'm saying right now. And I ain't even going to call Matthew Golden for 1,000 yards. I'm just saying there's a possibility that he can get it. But I will call this. This season will be the start of something special for Matthew Golden. I believe he will have similar numbers to Romeo Dobbs, 724 yards, 50 plus receptions, 75 to 85 targets, somewhere in that range this season. And I'm calling that he'll get 700 yards. I'm going to book 700 yards for Matthew Golden. I'm going to book 700. But I'm going to throw in the caveat that it is a possibility that he can get 1,000. In the right situations at the right time, who knows? If he's starting off like this, building off from the end of last season, in the camp, in the preseason, who knows by the time regular season going, he humming like a sewing machine early. He jump out the gate early. If he can jump out the gate early enough and get him a couple of 75 to 100 yard games on his belt in the first 3-4 weeks, when everybody probably gonna be checking for Watson, or they gonna be checking for Reed, and they really might underestimate him just a tad bit, or not underestimate, but just not look his way, because he still gotta prove it. And he jump out the gate fast, he might crack 1,000. I ain't gonna call that. I don't think he gets it, but if he was to get it, I wouldn't be surprised, because I think he has the ability to be. He definitely has the ability to be a 1,000-yard receiver. I just think he has the ability to win a lot of matchups. And if he can get that recognition down, to try to go a little bit off script when needed and get the continuity with the quarterback, I think sky's the limit. And another thing, yards after the catch. That's another thing that he showed me in that playoff game. He took the swing pass and basically broke all those tackles and took it to the house. I mean, that's a skill set. Yards after the catch. Who to say he get a 5-10 yard slant route in the middle, break a couple of tackles, and take a 5 or 10 yard slant route, to the crib? Who says he might do that pretty often? You mess around and do that pretty often, them yards get to stacking up, man. Especially like being a edge receiver, the possessional receiver, especially if you're a true possessional receiver, you can have a game where you got 8, 9, 10, 11 catches. You know what I'm saying? So the target's gonna be there, especially if you're trying to move the chain. So I just feel it's just a good feeling, man. I just feel like this is Matthew Golden's statement season. He's gonna make a statement this season. I ain't gonna say he's gonna be a top 5 wide receiver. I ain't gonna say he's gonna have 1,200, 1,500 yards. I ain't even calling 1,000 yards. But I will call that he will make a statement. And when the chips on the line, he gonna deliver. And he gonna show everybody that might not think that he a good wide receiver, or the ones that might think he's a good wide receiver, but he might not be a number 1 wide receiver. I think he's going to show you, Matthew Golden is going to show you the true traits of what a wide receiver 1 could look like, and what a possessional, move the chain, top quality wide receiver can do. The yards is going to be the yards. I will call 700. I will say he'll have 700 or more yards. I say 700 to 1,000. If he get 1,000, I would not be surprised, but I'm thinking it's going to be the 700-800 range. That's just my opinion. But what do you think? Do you think Matthew Golden has the capability of getting 1,000 yards? Do you think he would even get ample opportunity to reach 1,000 yards? How do you feel about Matthew Golden in the X? How do you feel about Matthew Golden overall? Do you think he's going to have a breakout season? Do you think it was a bad idea that we traded Dontavian Wicks and let Romeo walk? Just let me know how you feel about it. I just gave you my thoughts. I didn't want to stay on it too long because, like I said, I really didn't have any stats to kind of back me up. It's just all in my good, man. It's all a good feeling. It's all a good feeling. It's all by my eyes and what I see. I know sometimes we can't trust these old eyes. The eyes can lie to us sometimes, but I don't think they lying this time, man. I think Matthew Golden gonna be okay in his role. I think this is why the Green Bay Packers drafted him for this role, to excel in this role and be a top quality wide receiver for this franchise for years to come. And maybe, just maybe, he might be our top dog in the next couple of years. Who knows? But we'll take a break right here. And when we come back, we're going to dive into which rookies will make the most impact in 2026. Today is our 4th and 5th round picks. The Dani Dennis-Sutton, the Dennis, DDS, and Jager Burton, our 5th round pick. And when we come back from the break, we'll break down why I feel that these players can make an impact on the Packers and how they can make an impact on the Packers this season. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. All right, we are back, and now we will dive into our 4th round pick, the Dani Dennis-Sutton, edge rusher from Penn State, and our 5th round pick, Jager Burton, interior offensive lineman from Kentucky. Now, the Dani Dennis-Sutton has been talked about from our fan base. I think it's safe to say he's one of the favorite draft picks of this draft. Been a lot of buzz around the Dani Dennis-Sutton, a lot of high hope for the Dani Dennis-Sutton, and seen a couple of things in camp. You know, he's been primarily running with the twos, so we're gonna see if he's gonna get a chance to make that step. I know Sorrell has been running mostly with the ones here pretty much since camp started. I haven't seen any updates from today, but for the most part I know he's been running pretty much with the twos. So with that being said, I just wanted to dive into PFF and the PFF grades for the Dani Dennis-Sutton during his college career, predominantly 2025. I really just want to look into 2025, but I also want to look into the trend over the last 3 seasons that he had at Penn State. So here is the PFF grades for the Dani Dennis-Sutton. Okay, as you can see, we got a little different trend. You know, we went over Brandon Cisse and Chris McKellen in our last episode, and it seemed like the 23 and 24 and 25 trends was just up, and up. So here we see 2023 overall grade was a 77.5. 2024 was a 73.2. Then 2025 was an 80.1. 80.1 overall PFF grade for the Dani Dennis-Sutton. Pass rush grade was a 79.7. Run defense grade was a 77.7. Vote very good. True pass set rush grade 78.2. And a pass rush win rate of 15.8%. That is good. Very good. Very, very good. 15.8% pass rush win rate. Okay. So going back, 2023, 77.5. Then he went from a 77.5 to a 73 in 2024. Dropped down a little bit. Defensive snaps played. He played 445 in 23, 608 in 2024. 16 game played to 13 game played. 2024, if I'm not mistaken, yes, 2024 is when they made that national championship run and lost to Notre Dame, if I'm not mistaken, in the college football championship or college football playoffs. So that might be hints into 16 games instead of the 13, but that's neither here nor there. But even though this went from a 77.5 to a 73.2, you got upper 70s to lower 70s. I mean, it's still a very good PFF grade. Then we went down just a little bit from a 73 all the way up to a 80.1 overall grade in 2025. Now, as I went over, pass rush grade was a 79.7. That is very, very good. Run defense grade, 77.7. Now, I've been putting emphasis on the run defense. I'm not going to put as much emphasis on the run defense grade for the Dani Dennis-Sutton. It is an importance to me because, as I stated, I feel like the weakness of this defense has been for a while our ability to stop the run. So run defense has been a problem. So that's a very good grade. But I do want to focus on this pass rush grade because that's a very good pass rush grade, 79.7. His overall grade was an 80.1. Then the true set pass rush grade was a 78.2. But this pass rush win rate of 15.8%, that is great. If he gets the opportunity to get on the field and if he can have a 10% win pass rush win rate, that's a definite win. A definite win for a 4th round pick. Now, he was a 4th round pick, but a lot of people had a 2nd and 3rd round grade on this guy. Same with McClellan. I believe Goop said he had a 2nd round grade on him and he was still there in the 3rd. A lot of mock drafts that I saw had the Dani Dennis-Sutton in the 2nd and 3rd round range, and we got him in the 4th. So we might have got another steal, you know what I'm saying, in the draft if he get an opportunity to play. Edge rusher room is deep, so he's going to probably have to show a lot in camp, and it is a very good opportunity right now with Micah Parsons sideline to show what you can do in camp. But like I said, as of right now, they've been rolling with Sorrell with the ones in camp. But we also have preseason games coming up. Family night is coming up here soon. Man, just talking about it, man. Man, the regular season is about to start, man. Oh, man, the year is flying. But anyway, if he can show something in those preseason games and show off how he got this 15.8 pass rushing win rate in college in 2025, if he can show glimpses of that or any of these grade overall grades, he can definitely get in the rotation. He can definitely get some snaps. And I think not only preseason, being that the edge rusher room is kind of stacked, but being how I've been seeing the defense coordinator use all these different pieces and put everybody everywhere, he probably gonna get an opportunity to do something anyway. Because Jonathan Gannon been in his bag in camp. He been sending corners on blitz. He been putting all edge rushers out there on the field in 3-tech, nose guard, all type. It's been all type of exotic looks. So the Dani Dennis-Sutton could very well be in certain packages and have certain opportunities in different spots. You know what I'm saying? Messing with Jonathan Gannon, man, everybody probably end up getting the opportunity to do something on their defense, man. The defense is going to be very exciting to watch this defense this year. But he had 641 defensive snaps in 2025. He had an 80.1 overall grade in 13 games. Run defense snaps were 297. Pass rush snaps were 320. So he pretty much had basically even amount of snaps. A little bit more pass than rush, but yeah, pretty much even. 8 sacks, 14 hits, 29 hurries, and a batted ball. So, I mean, decent numbers, man. 8 sacks in 13 games. That's solid. You know what I'm saying? 14 quarterback hits, 29 hurries. I mean, a hurry, it can be just as important as a sack. If you get a quarterback off his spot before he wants to get off that spot, it's going to disrupt the timing, and it's either going to be an incomplete pass. So it ain't all just about the sacks. The hurries, all that comes into play. So as you can see here, he's got a snaps by alignment. He pretty much played outside the tackle majority of the time. He played 3 snaps over the B gap, none over the A. 36 was over the tackle, and 592 was outside the tackle. Yeah, so Dani Dennis-Sutton, man, these grades in college, if he can pull off a 65 to 70 PFF grade, I'm gonna say 70. If he can get a 70 PFF grade, that will be great for a rookie season. Now, with the edge rusher room being as crowded as it is, it's a lot of players that are trying to get opportunities on that edge rusher room, especially with Micah out. So he's going to have to flash and show that he belongs and prove that he belongs in the league to try to get the opportunities. That's the only deal. Whenever he gets opportunities, if any of this can flash the 79.7 pass rushing grade, the 15% pressure rate, you know what I'm saying? If any of that can flash and come out, it's a win for the Packers. And it'll be a win for the Dani Dennis-Sutton, because I look at the edge room this year kind of like the wide receiver room last year, where it's just we got a lot of guys and a lot of guys trying to eat, and somebody gonna come out of the shuffle staying, and somebody gonna come out of the shuffle going. Now, he doesn't have to worry about staying or going because he just got drafted, but whoever is in this shuffle that goes, he needs to make sure that he did enough to show the coaching staff, like, okay, we let Brendan Cox walk, or we let not Baron Sherrill, but let's just say we don't pick up, just hypothetical, y'all. Don't come for me now, because I know don't come for me. I'm just saying it's a hypothetical. Let's just say Luka Van Ness don't pan out, and we got the 5th-year option on him. And we know after next season, we're going to move on from him. If we don't trade him next year, let's just say 2027, 26 was bad. Okay, you know what? We just going to trade Luke. We going to try to get something for him. We ain't going to re-sign him. Okay. So now you still got Baron Sherrill in that room. You got Colin Oliver in that room. You got Brendan Cox in that room. And you got Dani Dennis-Sutton. So what are you going to show? How are you going to leapfrog these other guys and stand out from these guys for the coaching staff to say, hey, you know what? Van Ness didn't work out, but we got a guy that can go opposite of Michael. He right there. It's the Dani Dennis-Sutton. And with the grades that he got in college, and I know it's going to be a brand new ball game in the NFL. That's why I ain't trying to go. If he got an 80 overall grade in college, if he can get a 70 overall grade, 65 to 70 in his rookie season, I call that a win. And from what I seen in Penn State, the little film that I saw, he got a high motor, and he's a very, very good edge rusher, and he's actually a very good run defender as well. And if he can put everything together and come out in camp and show the coaching staff and everybody that he needs to be on the field, I mean, future is bright for the Green Bay Packers. Will he do that? I don't know. Only time will tell. Me personally, I'm rooting for everybody in the edge rusher room. I hope that everybody can excel and exceed. But if you asking me from what I've been seeing as far as, work ethic or getting better, I'm thinking Sorrell gonna make the jump. That's just me. It's no wrong answer. If you feel like it's Dani Dennis-Sutton, you might be right. I feel like it's Barry Sorrell, you might be right. Some people might say it's Van Ness. They might be right. I think Van Ness is gonna be okay. I got my eye on Van Ness, and I think Van Ness is gonna be all right because before the injury last year, it seemed like he was trying to put it together. So he might be okay. But I think as of right now, that's why Sorrell has been with the ones. I think as of this moment, it's Sorrell's job to lose until Micah get back, of course. I'm talking about until Micah gets back. Because once Micah get back, we know it's going to be Micah on one side, Van Ness on the other. You know what I'm saying? With everybody else working in on the rotation. But until Micah get back, I think it's Sorrell's job to lose. Now, can Sorrell lose it? Absolutely. If Sorrell get in count and he ain't making no burn, and then we got Dani Dennis-Sutton coming in with the tools, making a lot of burn, putting a little extra mustard on it, and the coach there like, okay, I see him. Hey man, you know what? Hey, get on in there with the one. Let me see what you can do with the one. You dominating the two. Go on up in there and let me see what you can do with the ones. And then he started looking a certain way with the ones. Who knows? Look at Brandon Cisse right now. We just got through talking about Brandon Cisse on the last episode, and I had just said I hope when Keyshawn comes back that they don't kick Brandon Cisse to the twos. The first day he came, couple of days he came back here with the twos, and then Valentine kind of had a hamstring injury. Now he's getting another opportunity with the ones, and for what I saw yesterday in the 1v1, Mr. Cisse on his way. So could Dani Dennis-Sutton get an opportunity like that? Not wishing injury on nobody. What if Sorrell tweak a hamstring or something like that, and he get an opportunity to run with the one, and he show out like that? That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. Seize whatever opportunity you have, and when you seize the opportunity, just make the best of it. Take the ball and just run with it, and don't give it back. But I'm hoping for the best for Dani Dennis-Sutton. Like I said, I'm not saying that he can't. I'm not saying that he can. From what I seen at Penn State, if we can get that guy for that, what I seen on film from Penn State, we'll be dead all right. We'll be all the way all right. And if he gets the opportunity and he can put up an overall 65, 70, we'll just say 70 PFL grade, make some plays, come in key moments, and just stay ready. Because we know injuries gonna happen. It might not start off first of the season, you getting a lot of playing time, but who to say one edge rusher, he'll go down, and now the rotation get a little bit smaller. So I think we will eventually see him in some form or fashion. Now, in a big role, jury's still out. I'm not sure we'll see him in a big predominant role, but he'll definitely get a little playing time, in my opinion, I feel like, and I think he'll get some opportunity to show what he can do, and hopefully he'll make the best of those opportunities. Now, another player I want to talk about, and he got a lot of buzz in OTAs. He kind of been banged up a little bit. Well, not banged up, he been dealing with a hamstring, man. I want to talk about today our 5th round pick out of Kentucky, our interior offensive lineman, center/guard, Jager Burton. Now, Jager Burton, when he was drafted, I'm going to be all the way honest with you. I'm rooting for Jager Burton to be a starter on his offensive line this season. Because it's a couple of guys on this offensive line that I ain't too fond of. One, I'm cool with, but not as a starter. And the other one, just to keep it respectful, he just got to play better and be available. I'll let y'all figure out who is who on who I'm talking about. But Jager Burton, and let me pull this up here so I can share it with you guys. The PFL grade from Jager Burton. Jager Burton kind of turned some heads at OTAs. He turned some heads at OTAs and had a lot of buzz behind him. He was filling in for Aaron Banks at left guard, albeit no pass or nothing like that. But coaches were praising him, saying that, he had a good work ethic. He was very, very teachable. Picked up stuff like a sponge, soaked it up like a sponge, like just all types of good things that Coach Matt LaFleur and others had said about him. So unfortunately, the first day of camp, he had to go out with a hamstring pull. He didn't practice the next day, and I believe he's been back the last 2 days. He's been running with the twos. Yes, he's been running with the twos at left guard. Now, that's cool with him running at the twos at left guard, but I would like to see him play a little center. I would like to see what he can do at center or right guard, for that matter. Now, if he predominantly plays left guard at the two, he will be the two because we all know who is the starting left guard, and that is Aaron Banks. But Aaron Banks seems like he can't stay healthy now. He's been in and out the lineup already in camp, and I don't want to go too much into Aaron Banks. He just been in and out of the lineup. So the work with the tools can pay off for him in case Banks get hurt, which I hate to say it, might be a strong possibility. I hope I'm wrong on that, but the pattern, the way it's going right now, that's probably a possibility. But yeah. Anyway, but the work with the twos and the work in the ones that he had in OTAs was beneficial. The work with the tools will be beneficial at left guard, but I would like to see him at center, either with the ones or the twos. I just say with the twos, or I would like to see what he can do at right guard. Maybe flip flopping him and Belton with the ones, so competition. I haven't heard any bad things about Belton. I haven't heard anything at all about none of the offensive linemen, but I mean, if you don't hear anything, they say if you don't hear anything about the offensive lineman, that's a good thing. So that means they ain't doing nothing wrong. But it would be good to see if he could maybe, if anything, push Belton. Just push him a little bit. But, maybe we got a lot of camp left, so who knows? We might end up seeing him there. Okay, but here is Jager Burton's PFL grade. 2023 was a 50. That wasn't that good. 2024 was a 60, and 2025 was a 71.3. He played 12 games in 2023, 10 in 2024, and 12 in 2025. Okay, and his run block grade was 67.5, which is decent, pretty decent if I can say. Pass rushing grade, 79.5. Zone grade was 65.8. Gap grade was 66.8. True pass set block pass grade was 70.2. Run blocking grade 67.5. That's pretty decent, and that's probably better than a lot of the linemen have had for the Green Bay Packers in a good little bit. But the run blocking grade is as a 67. Run blocking is a Achilles, not an Achilles heel, but it's been a little issue. I don't want to say Achilles. It's been a little issue. It's been a little issue for Green Bay for a little minute. And if he can come in and help improve that run blocking, that will be excellent. But I know we see the 2023 with the 50 to the 60. That was a big jump of improvement. He basically went from below average to average, and then went from average to above average, a 60 to a 71. So he basically jumped 10 points every year. So he had big jumps. He was down here. He started off low and he jumped up, and he jumped up big chunk jumps. So if that trend was to continue to the NFL, that would be great. But realistically, most of the time, kind of gonna maybe come down just a little bit. College, NFL, two totally different things, and I say 71.3. I'm going the same thing I said about the rest of these guys. If any of these guys can get 65 or up, I will be dead all right with that in the rookie season. Now, if he could be a 71 overall, and if he can keep that run block grade right there at a 67.5, I'll be dead all right with that. But I think that Jager Burton can have an opportunity to play this season, and this 67.5 run block grade, hopefully he can duplicate that in an NFL setting, and that'll be damn good for us, because we'll know that we'll have a interior lineman that we can count on in the run game. I think guards more so than tackles. I think the whole line needs to have good run blocking skills. But that interior is way more important, because most of the time, most of the runs are in between the tackles. So those guards are key in the run game. They key in the pass game too, but them guards are key in the run game, because most runs go in between the tackles. You might run outside the tackles. If you do a percentage, I didn't look it up yet, but I'm pretty sure the percentage of runs inside the tackles versus outside the tackles, I'm thinking inside the tackles is going to be on top of that list rather than running outside the tackles. So run blocking for a guard, center, interior lineman is key. And he does have a decent run blocking grade as far as 2025 in Kentucky goes. So if he can either keep this the same or even improve on that, that will be a win-win for the Green Bay Packers. And it'll also be a win for him, because honestly, man, I don't think that Jager Burton will have to do too much to get a starting job. It all depends on how Anthony Belton does at right guard. And as of right now, it seems like Belton is penciled in at right guard. I don't know if that might be that's the best thing to do, to just pencil him in. It hasn't been no rotation out. And when I mean rotation, I don't mean take Belton and put him at right, from right guard to right tackle. I'm talking about first team Belton might run this day. The next day, Burton run with the first team, to see what he can do, kind of like rotating it out. I don't think they're doing that unless, like I said about the Dani Dennis-Sutton, unless he can come out and show something. We're running with the tool, which he already kind of did that in OTAs. So only thing he really has to do is improve on that. Improve on that and continue to grind. If you go out there with the tools, act like you with the ones. Continue to show the coaching staff. Continue to show the work ethic. Continue to soak everything up like a sponge. Show that you know the offense, that you can, you know what I'm saying, that you know the different blocking assignments and everything. And just ball out, man. Just show the coaching staff what you can do. And like I said, it can't be that hard. And then it's just like injuries happen. You can never have enough offensive linemen. Injuries happen, especially the offensive linemen, man, because it's a lot of dirty work. It's a lot of dirty work going on inside of there. It ain't gonna take nothing to get rolled up on, your leg rolled up on, fall the wrong way in a pile, man. Ain't no telling what with them linemen, man, because them linemen doing the dirty work. And I think Jager Burton has one of the best opportunities to play in 2026 and play a lot. And I'm actually rooting for him. This is what I want to say. I want our offensive line to be a top 5 offensive line in the league. And I feel like some of the players that we got, we might not be able to get there with them. So if we got some players in the wing that can come in and show that they can be top offensive linemen, I'm all for it. If the players that we have, our starters that we have, end up improving and showing that they're top offensive linemen in the league, I'm all right with that. I just want a great offensive line. We got to keep the quarterback upright. We can't be getting them hurt. We got a top 10 running back that people done forgot about because of the run blocking last year and him being injured. I want him to shine. Let's remember who we got. We got a top 10 quarterback and a top 10 running back in the backfield. But none of that matter if the O-line is garbage. It don't matter if the O-line is garbage. So that's all I want. A good O-line, a top 5 O-line. And if Jager Burton can be a part of this O-line, I'm all good with it. I'm all good with it right there. So, I mean, from 2025 with a 71 overall grade, if you look at the trajectory, it started off real low, but he worked his way on up. So now, just stay where you at that 71 if you can. Don't go on to 60. Just stay right there between 60 and 70. And then go up from there, man. Just looking at the PFL grade, you can tell that he is trending in the right direction. And from all the buzz and all the things that the coaching staff has said about this guy, he's a very hard worker and he's a very quick learner. He's picking this up very quickly. That's a good trait. And being as shaky as the offensive line is, it ain't really shaky, but it's kind of shaky. Them guard spots is shaky. Them guard spots. Now, I've been looking at Morgan. I might get to Jordan Morgan down the road a little bit. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But I have been looking at Jordan Morgan. I've been seeing the notes on Jordan Morgan. Jordan Morgan looking real good out there at left tackle. And I hope and pray that he can be a damn good left tackle, the left tackle that we drafted him to be. But them guard spots been a problem for a few years now. It's been a problem for a few years now. And we got a tackle that's playing guard. And if he can just sit there and focus on guard, he should be okay. The PFL grades were they were kind of bad last year. You know what I mean? But I will give him a pass because he kind of got thrown there because they were playing him at tackle for the most part, and he kind of got thrown there, so he really ain't have a full grasp of it. So I'm saying that this is Belton's full grasp of the guard this season. But if he If he cannot get it done, I feel like we shouldn't wait too long before we see Jager Burton in that spot. Or, like I said, other side, Aaron Banks. Aaron Banks can't stay healthy. From what we know from last year, couldn't stay healthy, couldn't stay on the field. And when he was on the field, he wasn't that good. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. He wasn't that good. But he making like $22 to $24 million, somewhere up in that range. Are they really gonna bench him for a rookie? Nah, they ain't happening, Cam. So he over there, but he can't stay healthy. If I ain't wishing no injuries on nobody, I am not wishing injuries on nobody. I just know they happen, and he has been injured this past year. So if it trend and he like limited participation in camp. One day he running with the ones, and next day he on the side. He working on the side. So if that trend were to continue, there go an opportunity right there. Who's to say if that happened and Burton steps in and plays well? If I ain't mistaken, I had to go back and look at that contract. But I really do believe since we gave, I think all the guaranteed money on that man contract is gone after this season. If I ain't mistaken, don't quote me on that. Don't hold my feet to the fire. I ain't looked it up. I'm going out the dome right now. I'm thinking the clock ticking and it's still just kicking in my head. If that is the case, and if he was to get hurt, not wishing no injury on, I want to repeat that. Not wishing, I don't want nobody to get hurt. Nobody to get hurt. But it happens. So if it was to happen, and Jager Burton comes in and plays very, very well, and you got him for the next 3 years under contract, and you can save some money, I don't know about y'all, but I know what I do. That's what I'm saying. Impact. If you get your opportunity, make the most of your impact. And I feel like Jager Burton, he got the bill. Big old cornbread eating young man. You know what I'm saying? Coach staff talking good about him. We just got to see it in live action. And we about to get ready to see it in just a moment. Preseason games are next week. Our preseason game is, I believe we play the Pittsburgh Steelers August the 13th, 6 o'clock Central Time. Next Thursday, man. Man, this season is almost here, man. Well, okay. I'm rambling now. So that means it should be time to go. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate everybody listening to the sound of my voice and watching my pretty or maybe not so pretty face. Don't worry. Sometimes I think I'm ugly too. This is your host, Chris Wilson, and this is the CheeseHead Connection podcast. Make sure y'all stay tuned for another episode of CheeseHead Connection podcast, and also stay tuned for another episode of CheeseHead Connection Unhinged. Podcast episode 4 will be out soon. Preseason is upon us. Family night. Man, we about to have football again, man. I can't wait, man. But until next time, man, it's your boy, me, myself, and I, Chris Wilson, signing out. Go Pack Go, and I'll talk to you next time.